Hello, my name is Sophie and I am currently recovering from binge eating disorder and bulimia nervosa. I've also been diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, and all of this began about 10 years ago. My diagnosis officially came through 3 years ago when I first sought help and went to a professional. When I did do that, it was very difficult because of the continuous cycle that I've been in for about 7 years at that point, where about 5 to 6 times a day I was repeating self-destructing behaviors that relate to my eating disorder. And of course, that's really difficult for a body to handle for a long period of time. When most recently I found out that the tests that they'd done on me and blood tests when I first started to seek help, I just thought they were just checking how nutrition I had in my body, but it turned out they were checking if I was going to have a heart attack, because at the age of 19 I was at the most risk to have a heart attack, which was really shocking for me to find out recently. About 3 years after those tests were done. And it made me realize how much I've changed and grown ever since I got help. My mental health issues were very much brought on by my traditions and culture and background. My family grew up in a country where there was scarcity of food, and once we moved to Australia, obviously we were surrounded by plenty and an excess amount of food. Therefore, I really did struggle to find a control over how much I should be eating and when, and also how to deal with feelings after I've eaten. Plus, if you add the stress and ambition that most people with an eating disorder experience due to perfectionism, that I wanted to get the best grades in school, I wanted to be surrounded by friends all the time, I didn't want to have any arguments all the time. It was just very much focused on perfectionism, and that brought on my anxiety, where if anything I failed in or thought that I failed in remotely, my anxiety was immediately rising. Once I did get help, however, it really did it saved my life, basically. 3 years ago, my psychiatrist, immediately put me on a medication because he saw how serious my condition was. The cycle I was in was incredibly stressful on my body, especially due to the long periods of time that I've gone without going into treatment. And from the outside, I looked like any other young teenager, young adult. However, my body inside was really damaged. So that medication actually broke up the cycle that I created for 7 years and allowed me to actually start getting help and actually fix the mental obstacles and condition I had, so that my actions obviously wouldn't reflect anymore the struggles I was having in my head. I guess understanding that with an eating disorder, the outside and the physical symptoms you see, they're just symptoms, and that eating disorders are a mental disorder, and that's where it needs to get treated. I think that is the most important part that I hope people will understand who don't suffer from this condition. No matter what you look like from the outside, you could be severely sick from the inside, and you need to get treatment. And so many people are able to help. And it's important to actually believe in recovery. And I do. I've seen and heard of people recovering. So Medicare actually provides 40 heavily subsidized sessions for those who have an eating disorder. So reaching out to JP, I would highly, highly suggest.